Hello, and welcome to Foundations for Algebra, Unit 3A, Lesson 9. Scholars will find the length of a leg of a right triangle using the Pythagorean Theorem. So far, we've only been finding the lengths of the hypotenuse. So first, a quick review. Your Pythagorean Theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. C is always the leg across from the right angle. A and B are sort of interchangeable. It doesn't matter which one's which. So let's look at using the Pythagorean theorem to solve this. So I see that I have 8 feet, 5 feet, and then I have a missing here. We call this x. Well, here's my right angle. So that means my hypotenuse is 18 feet. So I'm going to say that's A. So I've got x squared plus, side B is 5. 5 squared equals 18 squared. So let's get rid of those squares. So I have x squared plus 25 equals, now I don't know 18 squared off the top of my head, but I can do it in my calculator very quickly. And I get 324. Well, now I still need to get my squared by itself. So I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides. So x squared plus 25 minus 25, I'm just subtracting both sides, is 324 minus 25. So these are going to cancel, and I get x squared equals 299. Well, now I'm just going to need to take the square root of both sides. So I have x equals the square root of 299. That's my exact answer. Remember, for these, we get exact answers and approximate. That's my exact answer. But if I want to approximate it, the square root of 399, oh, that's the right number. It should be 299. Sorry, 299 is 17 point. Now my calculator says 29, but I know that rounds to 17.3. So that's my missing number. Well, let's try this again. Some different numbers here. Again, I find my right angle and make sure that which side I'm missing. I am missing a leg. So we call it x again. X, Y, whatever you call it, A or B, it doesn't matter. So I have x squared plus 2 squared, my other leg, equals 8 squared. So I have x squared plus 4 equals 64. I'm simply going to subtract 4 from each side. So I have x squared plus 4 minus 4 equals 64 minus 4. So I get x squared equals 60. Take the square root of both sides. I get x equals the square root of 60. Again, that's my exact answer. If I want to approximate it, I put it in my calculator, and it gives me x is approximately 7.7. In my calculator, 7.74, so again, that rounds 7.7. Not too bad. Let's try another one. Now, this one sort of looks a little wonky, right? So again, first thing we do is find my right angle. My right angle is right here. Directly across from that is that number. You have to figure out which side is C. That's the most important thing you have to do. So here's my side C. So I'm going to say this is side A. So I have a squared plus 3.2 squared equals 6.9 squared. Again, you're going to have a calculator for this. So don't worry about it. You just put it in your calculator. 3.2 squared gives me 10.24 equals, make sure you see my decimal. And then 6.9 squared gives me 47.61. I'm just going to subtract the 10.24 from both sides. So I have a squared equals 37.37. So A is the square root of 37.37. Again, that's my exact answer. When I take the square root of that, I get A is approximately equal to 6.9 6.1, because my calculator says 6.113. Since the number after the 1 is a less than 5, I just cut it off. Okay, so now let's look at this. I have a 15-foot ladder. It's leaning against a wall. The bottom of the ladder is 5 feet from the wall. How high up the wall will the ladder reach? Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to sort of draw a picture because I need to understand this. So, here's my wall. Right wall here, see it up. Here is my ladder. Sort of make my ladder, right? So here's my ladder. And then here is the ground. Just so I sort of see it. So here's my right angle. There's my hypotenuse. Well, I know it said that my ladder is 15 feet. So that means this is 15. And I know that the bottom is 5 feet from the wall. So this is a 5. So I'm finding this last side, the wall. So again, I'm going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, a is going to be my missing number. 5 is my other leg. And then that is 15 squared. So I have a squared plus 25 equals 225. I know 15 squared is 225. If you need to put it in your calculator, do that. We're going to subtract 25 from both sides. So you get a squared equals 200, which means a equals the square root of 200. When I put that into my calculator, I can tell you that it gives me approximately, a is approximately equal to 14.1 feet. So that's how high up on the wall my ladder will reach, 14.1 feet. Okay, now let's look at this one. Televisions are categorized by the diagonal length of their screens. I have a 50-inch television that has a screen that is 40 inches wide. How tall is the screen? So let's think about this for a second. So I know that my television screen is a rectangle. We all know that, right? Television screens are rectangles. Their size is labeled, it's based on their diagonal length. So that's this right here. So I know in this case I have a 50-inch. So this is 50. My screen is 40 inches wide, so that is 40 here. And I'm trying to find this missing length here, right? This is my height. Okay, so again, we're just going to use our Pythagorean theorem. So I have h squared plus 40 squared equals 50 squared. So h squared plus 1600, put in your calculator if you need to, equals 2500. I'm going to subtract the 1600 from both sides. You get h squared equals 900. Then I take the square root. So h equals the square root of 900. But here's the thing. Check that, because if you put that in your calculator, you're finding that h is 30. So my television is 30 inches tall. Okay, go ahead and work on your Google Doc that you have to do. If you have any questions, come see me in class. See you then.